In this lecture, you're going to be learning how to install a fresh copy of the Legato framework, and then we're going to get it to work on our local computer. So the very first thing that we need to do is to visit the documentation for Legato Framework. So I can type here docs.legatoframework.com. And then let's click on the installation link here. The first thing you want to take note of here is the installation requirement. You can see that you need PHP 7.1 and also Composer. If you don't have Composer installed on your system, you can actually check out one of my courses on Dev Screencast. There are free videos that shows how to actually install Composer and set it up on your system. So you can actually come here and then watch the videos that deals with installing Composer on your operating system. This will be for Mac OS and this will be for Windows, and then you can also learn about the basic commands. So what we are going to do is to copy the installation command for Legato. So I'm going to grab this and then I'm going to open my command line tool. So I'll be using Git Bash. You can use the Windows command line tool, which is the command prompt, or you can use any other command line tools of your choice, but I always prefer to use Git Bash when I'm on Windows. So I'm going to change to the folder where my PHP stuff are basically installed. So that will be inside the XAMPP htdocs. So inside of here, I'm going to run that command. So when we run this command, what happens is that Composer is going to create a new Legato project and then put it inside of this folder called blog. So if we want to name our project something else, then we can actually specify the name of the project here. So let's say we want to stick with the concept of blog for now. So I'm going to press enter. Or rather, before we even do this, we can basically check to ensure that our PHP version is actually up to the minimum requirement. So I can come here and type php-v, and then this will tell me my version of PHP. And you can see that I'm using PHP 7.2.1. The requirement to actually install the framework is 7.1. So I'm going to close this off. And then I'm now going to actually run the command. So it's going to take a few seconds to pull in all of the dependencies that are required by the Legato framework. So while Composer is trying to pull this in, we can actually just go over again to the documentation and just read a little bit about the project. So let's come back to Home. And then here you can see that Legato is a simple yet powerful PHP framework for rapid application development that is suited for small to medium scale apps and APIs. Legato Framework is a seamless integration of powerful PHP packages from Symfony components, Illuminate, and others with very high performance. And then you can also see the use case for why you may want to use Legato, because it comes bundled with some of the things that you need when you want to build any kind of web applications. So instead of reinventing the wheel, you need something very simple to just get started. And then you can see all of the points here. You want a framework with small blueprint. You want a framework that is easy to use, exceptional performance. You want a framework that requires nearly zero configuration. So as I mentioned before, it's very simple to install and very simple to use. As long as you have Composer and PHP 7.1 and the basic extensions that come installed with PHP, then you're already good to go. And then Legato also supports true templating engine, which means you can actually use it with Blade, which is a Laravel templating engine, or Twig, which is Symfony template engine. So we're going to be learning about all of this later. Let's get back again to the command line. Right, so Composer is pulling in all of the requirements. So this is not just another framework, but it is built on top of very solid components that have been accepted in the PHP community as the standards. All right, so it has now finished the installation. So what we now need to do is to change directory to the directory name that we specified. Remember, when we type in this command, we say we want to create a blog project. So we now need to change our current working directory to be the blog folder. So I'm going to say cd blog. So we're now inside of the blog folder. I'll clear out my terminal, and then I'm just going to do an ls. And right now you can see the framework has been installed, and you can see all of the various folders that are required to actually use the framework.